So this is me driving home from going camping with wild horses right after H2O, as you guys saw in the last video. And the reason I'm going home in this video is that I want to upgrade the air suspension before I continue to go cross country. The reason I want to upgrade it is because the 7400 kit that I have in here now, which I'm sure is a great kit for its purpose, which is load leveling for pickup trucks, does not really work on a trailer. And the reason is it constantly self-adjusts. So if I'm driving down the highway right now with my trailer and the air suspension has power going to it, all of a sudden one side will just lift up randomly and the other side will drop down. That's dangerous for driving trailers. You don't want the weight just shifting. So Airlift and Viair were kind enough to chip in and send me an upgraded kit. Airlift sent me a 3P kit, and Viair was kind enough to send me 2 compressors and a tank. So I was headed home to put that stuff in. Now, the problem is I leave this setup that I have on there now turned off. And the reason is because I don't want it to self-adjust. So whenever I need to air up the trailer, I would go out to the trailer, turn on the power to the air suspension, and use the remote to air it up and down, which would take about 20 minutes to a half an hour. So I just set it to an appropriate ride height, which is about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of wheel gap. And that usually gets me over most potholes. I don't have to worry about it. I could pull into most driveways. If there's something really high, then I get out and I take the time. It's usually 20 or 30 minutes to set the ride height. So I was on my way home to upgrade the air suspension. And during this time, I decided to take a detour to Wildwood, New Jersey, to address the people that are saying H2O should be held in Wildwood. Now, you'll see in this video that the universe had other plans for me, and they were unfortunate plans. And now I'm set way behind schedule, and you're about to see why. So I decided to take a detour. I'm gonna drive to Wildwood, New Jersey on my way home. I really like Wildwood. It's a fun place. The boardwalk's awesome. It's just cool. I spent a lot of time there when I was younger because I worked down there on Cape May. Cape May is beautiful. But I'm going to show why all these people that are saying H2O is dead, needs to be moved to, and one of the places is Wildwood, New Jersey, why it's not a good place for hosting H2O. So I'm going to show that, and I'm going to try to maybe find some cool camping spots down here. And maybe I'll just stay the night, you know? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's speed bumps. There's no real U-turns on the strip like you kind of need for the way H2O is set up in OC. But I'll show what the issues are and why it can't be held there. If anything, the date needs to be changed for Ocean City rather than the venue being changed. Now, to change the date, you'd need some kind of private group, and you'd have to do some vetting process to make sure that unwanted people don't get into the group. Alright, so I'm in Wildwood, and this is the strip. And I see why people, you know, kind of think H2O can go here, but the truth is Ocean City, Maryland has 8 lanes across. This has 4, and then in some places it doesn't even have that. So, and there's not enough hotel capacity to really hold everybody here. I'll show you some more reasons why not to come here. There's always going to be weird, shitty road construction like this in random parts of Wildwood. All kinds of potholes like this. Watch this shit. I'm trying to hold my phone steady. It's even more exaggerated with the trailer on the back, I'm sure, because it's like pulling me, but you get the point. It's just not great. Look at this one. Gotta air up for this shit. This is basically one of the main strips here. Is Pacific Ave. It's horrible. Just can't compare to OC, MD, which is not going to happen. I believe, if I remember correctly, there's speed bumps up here. And this is Atlantic Ave, and I'm thinking this is what everybody's thinking they're going to be on. This is the beginning pretty much of the main strip. The boardwalk's over there. You know, it's cool for like photo, you know, ops and stuff like that, but the roads are just crappy. The hotels are pretty crappy. There's not enough of them to hold half the capacity of what was at H2O last year. I don't know. here's Ocean Ave, same situation. Crappy potholes everywhere. Only 4 lanes instead of 8. Everybody likes to take photo ops in here. I have, but yeah, I don't know. There you go. There it is. It's not gonna happen here. Oh, and the cops are probably bigger dicks down here. And I'm not saying that you can't have car events here. In fact, I do. I came here for Slammed Enough. It was an awesome show. You're talking a few hundred cars, not like 10,000, 20,000 cars, or whatever the hell happens at H2O. So, yeah, I mean, they have bike weeks here and stuff. It's a great place to have car events. It's just not good for what we're trying to do. So, I mean, it could happen, but I don't think it's going to last here. I think this would actually be the death of it. I think keeping it in OC and just, you know, I don't know, not getting too crazy is the only way to live. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think people are going to continue to go to OC. I'm one of them. So I just hit a big pothole. I was only doing like 5 miles an hour. And I did that. So that thing's holding on by like nothing. So I'll have to grind all that down and weld it on. It sucks. Yeah, Wildwood isn't the place for this. The other thing, if you start chanting H2O, nobody joins in. If you tell people to send it, they just look at you weird. I should have never came to Wildwood. I just had catastrophic failure from a pothole. You gotta be kidding me. This sucks. Look how hard I nailed the pothole. It caved in this 2-inch fucking square tubing right here. Holy crap. That's nuts. It was the other side that broke on the other pothole, and then this one. All right, so I didn't really know what to do. I was flustered after I backed my trailer into a spot and backed my car into it. Then it wouldn't start. The bumper was hanging on. I took a ratchet strap and strapped it up. This guy, JD 609 STI.
609 WRX.
609 WRX,
Yeah.
sorry. He had just posted in his story of me rolling down the street, and it was like right where this happened. So I saw the story, and I was like, all right. So I messaged him like, hey man, you're from around here? Because I could use a hand, just somebody freaking passing me tools, whatever. So thank you, man.
Yeah, dude,
I really
for sure.
appreciate it.
No, I'm so glad.
I'm not sure if this is definitely going on YouTube,
No,
but
yeah.
if it does, because I'm embarrassed about it, but I kind of want to be honest and show everybody everything.
Yeah,
but so now we got it started, and I ripped the bumper off all the way, and here's the damage. I did say I was going to send it till I bend it, and that's what I did. So unfortunately, this NSX with a clean history no longer has the cleanest of histories, but it could have been worse. This could have happened on the highway. I don't know. I mean, there probably isn't potholes like there is in Wildwood. How are the potholes here, man?
Dude, insane.
Is H2O gonna work out here?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Dude, H2O will not work in Wildwood. It would be sick. It would be very sick, but the streets are just.
Yeah.
Dude.
I hit a pothole off camera, and I remember thinking, I was like, that is the hardest thing, like the loudest noise I ever heard, and all the potholes I've ever hit. And what's weird is I hit another pothole after that, and that's when this happened. And I went and looked at the pothole that I just hit, and it really was not that bad. So I don't think that's what did it. I think it was the first big bang.
The initial one, dude.
The initial one.
It.
Yeah, the
And
initial
then once
one.
You hit this one, it was just like the icing on the cake.
The initial one ripped out bolts, or ripped the bolt right out of that freaking thing and pulled that with it. And then I think it was just hanging on, and I didn't know because I'm driving the car. But I could show you how hard this thing hit right here. It ripped my lock off, ripped the latch off on the inside when it hit this thing so hard. Caved in. So, yeah. I wish I had stopped and saw that on the side of the road first after I bumped. But, and that fell off all the way. Oh man, and the side skirts came off, which I threw in there. But I'm not missing anything. I'm gonna have to bend and cut and weld and reinforce, and at least I found the weak spot. And you know, it's definitely gonna delay my cross-country trip, but I'm glad it happened at least somewhat close to home rather than in the middle of the country. Yeah, I mean, I'm still like 4 hours away from my house, but so yeah, I could drive this home now because we got it started. I don't care about the back. I'll freaking hang a plate in my back window or something, and I'll get the trailer towed from AAA maybe. So thanks again, man.
Yeah,
I
dude,
really
for sure.
appreciate it.
Let it come out.
Thanks for being patient, Cassius. I don't know whose house this is, but so I think what I'm gonna do is put the trailer and the rear bumper on a tow truck and drive the NSX home bumperless and get to work on reinforcing this thing so that doesn't happen again. On the other hand, is I'm kind of thinking if it was reinforced, if I had attached that to the frame and I had hit a pothole that hard, I probably would have tweaked the freaking frame because it's a monocoque chassis. The frame is the body, basically. It's aluminum. So this is a really silly idea, putting a trailer on a sex. But you know what? I mean, the damage aside, like, I'm never gonna sell this thing anyway. I'm always gonna keep it for myself. It's my car. I have kind of a connection with it because I made it my own. So, you know, I understand it's just a hunk of metal, but either way, it sucks that now there's damage to it, and you know, if I were to sell it, somebody would look under there and be like, oh, what happened here, you know? I mean, it's not going to show up on the Carfax because I'm not going to go through insurance on it, but and it's minimal damage, but it's aluminum, so like I could bend it and straighten it back, but and I could, you know, fill the holes, weld it, grind it, sand it, paint it, but it's always going to be noticeable. So, but I guess it doesn't matter because, like I said, I'm never selling this thing. So right now I'm just sitting here and haven't quite made a decision, but I'm leaning towards just calling AAA and getting the trailer towed home. So, shitty end to an otherwise great week, but yeah. So I apparently the neighbor just told me I'm sitting on a porch for where squatters were, and they were here for like 8 months, and then the cops finally raided the place because there was like drug dealers in it. So apparently I'm not in a very good location. I was thinking about getting a hotel just so I can get a good night's rest and tackle this in the morning, but I didn't want to leave the trailer here because I don't want the Moto Compo to get stolen out of it, or the trailer, or the wheels, or anything. So I have no way to bring the Moto Compo to a hotel, so it looks like I'm just going to stick to the plan of AAA. So I called AAA, and apparently I was under my ex-girlfriend's account, and she took me off of it, so that's awesome, even though I paid for it. Well, AAA let me open up a new account, so now I have to call them back and make a call, and they'll tell me 200 miles. I'm 240 miles away though, so close enough, whatever. So I'm gonna give a little update, kind of recap of what happened tonight. So you guys know I hit the pothole, ripped the back of the NSX off, ripped the bumper off. This mechanic I know, he's like 70 years old, his name's Toby. He was friends with my mom, and he would help me with mechanical stuff. He was, actually I did all my stuff in his shop. He was the one with the pink DeSoto. If you guys watch my videos, I don't know, probably most of you don't, the NSX maintenance videos where I dropped the engine, that was in Toby's shop. So I was kind of like flustered trying to figure out where to go first, and Toby's a good guy to call because he'll be like, all right, calm down, why your car's, because my car wasn't starting. I found out why after, but so I couldn't figure out why my car wasn't starting just because I ripped off the bumper. That shouldn't have anything to do with it. So anyway, I call Toby, and a lady picks up, and the lady says Toby passed away last night. And I'm like, shit, you know, how could this day get any worse? So anyway, he was friends with my mom, and I called my mom and told her. Then the neighbor where I am, she came out and told me that the place I'm at just got raided a couple nights ago. It's not the nicest neighborhood. There's been crackheads running all and down here, you know, hours of the night. It's now like 2 in the morning. I'm waiting for a tow truck since 11. The tow truck driver called me, said they're not going to be here till 8 in the morning. So I called AAA and bitched at them, asked them to find somebody else, but they can't. So hopefully the tow truck driver shows up 8 in the morning. In the meantime, my phone rings, and it's my brother, Kyle, who I haven't heard from in a long time. And I'm wondering why he's calling. And he calls, and he sounds upset, and I say, what's wrong? And he tells me that our little brother died. So Tonight sucks, and I'm having trouble processing what's going on. Just seems strange. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. I had such a great week at H2O and camping with the horses and everything, and then just so quick everything just goes to shit. I don't know if there's a lesson in that or what, but if there is, I'm not getting it. But I have to stay awake now until hopefully 8 in the morning, and then I get to drive to Connecticut with no sleep through New York traffic, rush hour traffic, so yeah. With all this other crap on my mind. And this poor dog is along with me for the ride. I'm sure he'd rather be home right now than, he knows I'm stressed out, so he's stressed out too. I'm trying to stay calm for him, but I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd record this and vent. I probably won't put it online because it's pretty personal. I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, it seems pretty petty. I don't really care, but it does suck. Oh, and so the reason that the car wasn't starting after I ripped the bumper off is because I ripped the wiring harness off, and I had started the car. So I had to take my key for the trailer, because the trailer hitch is locked onto the car, is on my keychain, and my car was running when the bumper fell off. I was driving it, so I had to take the key out of the ignition, turn off the car, and go around back to unlock the trailer hitch so I could move the trailer to a parking space, and then, you know, ratchet strap up my bumper and get out of there. So I went back, and after I unlocked it and moved the trailer, and I started my car, and then I backed into a parking space, and then the car wouldn't start again. So I was like, what the hell is going on? And I checked the fuses in the engine bay and in the hood. What had happened was the wiring harness that ripped out of the bumper was dragging on the ground and shorted it out and blew the fuse, which is marked alternator. So yeah, apparently it runs a lot of things like the ignition too. So that's what happened, just in case you were wondering. Tow truck's finally here. So when it rains, it pours, and I have not really processed much of what's going on so far. I got the car back in my garage safely. Somebody had followed me down the road that saw me, and I was going to pull in my garage, and they're like, "Hey, yo, what's up, NS Extra?" And I wasn't paying attention, and I'm tired, and I've been up since yesterday morning, and I backed up my car into the garage, and I forgot that I have to air it down for when my roof box is on it, and I didn't air down, and my roof box caught the ramp, and it destroyed the roof box. So, and there it is. I can plastic weld it, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna buy something new. Somebody wanted to buy this off me, and they don't anymore, I'm sure. So, too bad. All right, so I found the weak link, as you guys saw. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the tail lights and figure out just how bad this damage is. I'm gonna repair the damage or replace things, and then I'm gonna make it so that this doesn't happen again. So we will rebuild stronger than before. All right, so my friend Tony came over last night. He's been on the channel before when I wrecked the paint in my other NSX. Apparently that's the thing I do, is wreck any cars I touch. But so he's good at what he does, and he came here, and I actually feel a little better that he did. He came by last night. I showed him the rear pan of the NSX, and he's like, "Oh man," he's like, "that's not bad at all." He's like, "You should see the stuff that comes into my work." He's like, and it's the opposite. Mostly cars are hit in the back, and the rear pan gets pushed in. And now I can replace the rear pan. I can cut it and put a new one on it. I said that to him. I was like, I can get a rear pan for $1,000 and just, you know, drill out the tap welds to this, put a new one in. And he said, don't bother. This one's totally repairable, and it's something I could do myself. So he said, just take some MAP gas and get it up to 500 to 720 degrees max, and just start tapping it with a rubber mallet until it's back in place. He said it does have a memory, and it's a lot easier to hit it in than it is to pull it out or hit it out. So him telling me it's not that big of a deal, you know, made me feel a little better. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna do it off camera, and I'm just gonna start tapping it back in on that one spot. That's really all it is. And then maybe I'll drill the old spot welds, and I'll redo that and then seam seal it. So yeah, heat was the secret. It's only been about 3 minutes, and I already got it about, I don't know, 70% all the way in. Still a gap there. I gotta close that up. But I will. I'll get it. And I'll take my TIG welder, redo these spot welds that ripped out. And then that's a bolt hole. That's a bolt hole. That one and that one all have to be refilled in with weld and then re-drilled. So, yep. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. And stay tuned for more videos coming shortly. I try to release one every week. Thanks.